Good evening. Let's start our evening with a little prayer for peace as we light our candle and send our thoughts of love, harmony, and peace to the world. Please say with me, may there be peace in the north and in the south, in the east and in the west, within and without, all around. May there be peace in our thoughts and in our words, in our hearts and in our actions. May there be peace. And may peace be our banner and our path and the northern star who guides our life. And so it is. Good evening. My name is Karem Barratt, and I'm an Interfaith Minister. And this is my second time here at the For Peace, and I'm very grateful and honored and happy to be back. So before we start, let me share a little bit about myself. I was born in Venezuela, and I was raised as a very laid-back Catholic. Catholicism to me, more than a religion, was a culture. So yes, I knew my prayers and I knew the stories, but my family was not really this church-going kind of people. Although I did go to Catholic school, and there I was fascinated by the priests. I used to watch Mass and see everything that the priest would do, and I found it really enchanting and powerful. So when I was about 8, I decided I wanted to be a priest. And ever the student, I decided I needed some practice. So back in Venezuela, they sell these little chips. They're made of plantain. We call it tostones. And during the school break in the yard, I would hold my own version of the Mass and use plantain as the host, and all my friends would come and they will confess their sins to me, and I would forgive them and then give them a plantain toast. One day, Mother Superior found me, and to be honest, she was very, very nice, but she told me about this rule that girls could not be priests. And I think that was the first moment that I felt that maybe Catholicism was not for me. But time passed, and I developed a very strong relationship with Jesus. Not so much with God the Father. God the Father was to me a bit like a head teacher, someone that you respect and you try not to get in trouble with, but not someone that inspires much love or anything else for that matter. Then when I was around 10 or 11, I watched this old Hollywood movie during Holy Week. It was David and Bathsheba. I can't recall the whole story, but there was a moment that David was talking to Bathsheba, and he said that most people come to God with their hands like this, asking, give me this, give me this, give me that. But very few people come to God with their hands like this, in worship and gratefulness. Now, like I said, I was 10, but I really was impressed by those words, and I felt sorry for poor God the Father, with all those children asking. I never stopped him to say thank you. So I promised God the Father, that I would pray every night to him, not to ask for anything, just to say thank you for whatever happened to that day. And I kept that promise for good 33 years. Even if I was very sleepy, sometimes it was like, mumble, 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 thank you God, blah, blah, blah. But I did keep it. But throughout the years, my spiritual life sort of changed and moved. And by the time I was in my early 40s, I have moved away from Catholicism to where I am now, which is a hard to define spirituality. Like I say, I'm an ordained Interfaith Minister, so I embrace, not tolerate, I embrace all the different religions and spiritualities. Personally, I see them as languages that people in certain cultures with certain history use to speak to their idea of the divine. In my personal spirituality, in this moment very much into earth-centered religions. I'm doing the Druid training, which I find fascinating because I'm very much an indoor girl. So getting in contact with nature and seeing, depending on what your spirituality is in the handiwork of the divine or the expression of the divine or a version of the divine, but feeling this connection with all there is and feeling not only awe, because nature can be so beautiful and powerful, but tenderness and love and sitting down and talking to a tree has been very rewarding. I'm not sure how my journey is going to end, to be honest. But right now I am in a very good place and feeling very confident not only to accept my own beliefs, but to listen to other people's beliefs and sometimes even incorporate them into my personal practice. So that's a bit of me. But I want to hang to that last idea of taking some practices or traditions from other religions or beliefs and make it part of your life. And the reason I want to do it is because I want to talk about Christmas. Now, I don't know if you can see that much. I have something like a Christmas tree made up out of books because my flat is too small for a proper Christmas tree, and on the side I have what I call my Christmas window with all the lights and trees. And I absolutely love Christmas. I adore Christmas. I think the world would be a less wonderful place without Christmas. But because I no longer consider myself a Catholic, many people ask me, why do you celebrate Christmas? Well, why are you into this? And I have asked myself the same question sometimes. I know historically that no one knows when Jesus was born, and it could have been December, it could have been March. I mean, most likely being the spring and summer months, if we're going to take the Gospels as historical sources, because in the winter it would have been too cold for the shepherds to be out with the sheep into the field. But nobody really knows. And then when you learn a bit more about the history of Christianity, you realize that for almost 1,000 years, people were not really that much into Christmas. I mean, it was adapted and adopted from different pagan traditions, but it was not like a big deal. It seems that it has become a big deal in the last 300, 200 years to what we know today. But before that, the big day for Christians was Easter. So why do we celebrate Christmas? Why do people who are not particularly Christians or Catholics or even believe in Jesus celebrate Christmas? And that got me thinking, why not? What are we celebrating in Christmas? When we go to the pagan traditions, there is the story of a god or goddess being born in this time of the year, way before Christianity. So there's something about this time of the year that seems to carry that energy of birth or rebirth. And then I ask myself, well, what is a birth? When you hear your sister is pregnant or your best friend is pregnant, you are pregnant. Most of the time, these news are received with joy. And when people go and see that little baby, especially if it's a healthy baby and there was a problem with the delivery, people come really, really happy. Oh, I saw the baby, it was beautiful. Although most babies tend to do that ugly. So what is it about the image of a baby that seems to touch something within us? And I think the answer to that is hope. When there is a baby, there is hope for the next generation. There is a hope, whether it comes true or not, that our traditions, our history, our personal story will continue into the next strand of the family or the nation. There is hope that we can pass along all our knowledge and all our wisdom. There is hope that this new generation will not make the mistakes that we did. They will learn from our mistakes. And you take the Christmas story, and there's this birth in winter, in a really, really cold day and really, really, really dark. And there's this child of light. So I can imagine, in the old days before electricity, when people gather into little houses, the family all together, listening to these different stories of hope, must have been reflected back to them. Let's not forget that many people really suffer a danger of dying during winter. And by these stories of gods and divines and heroes and babies being born, there's a story of, yes, we have hope and a chance to survive this very strong and very dreary and very cold and dangerous moment in time during the cycle of nature. So I think that is one of the things that brings people into the idea of Christmas, of celebrating this birth of this God or man, however you take Jesus, and this God that was sold as Sol Invictus in the old days. Even when we go to the myth of Santa Claus, yes, we don't have a baby, but who does Santa Claus comes to? Comes to children. And again, this idea of hope, of the new generation going forwards in spite of it all. But there's something else additional to this idea of baby that I would like to share today. I don't know if you're a parent, you will understand me better, or if you have taken care of little children. When a baby or a young child is sleeping and you go into the bedroom to check on them, there's this peace in the bedroom that is hard to describe. You can hear them breathing slowly and gently. And it's almost like going into cotton wool somehow. There's this sense of relax. And many of you could have heard of moms that spend hours and hours just looking at their babies. Because again, the image of this relaxed child that is so little and it needs so much protection at the same time seems to awaken this sense of wholeness and peace within us. And within us is also a little child. There's a little baby in all of us. That innocence, that helplessness is there in all of us. Sometimes when we've been hurt, it seems very difficult to forgive and let go, because what has been done to us has been so horrible. Sorry. And sometimes we feel it's unforgivable. Perhaps the person who hurts us is not showing any remorse. Maybe it's acting just as bad or still hurting people. And it's really hard to say, I forgive you. I mean, you can't say it, but to feel it. However, if you realize that in all of us there is a baby, we all were once innocent babies, and there's a part of that innocent baby that is there. You can focus on the baby instead of the actions of the adult. And you can look at the baby inside that person and say, I forgive what this adult has done, because I'm connecting to you. I'm sending my love to you, the little baby. I'm sending an embrace to you, the little baby. And in your name, for that spark of innocence that is there, I will forgive the adult. Even if I seek justice, I will forgive the adult on behalf of that baby in the inside. You should try it. I mean, I can attest that it works wonders when you realize that no matter how bad a person has been or how strong and hurtful that person's action may have been, there was one day when that person was nothing but a baby that deserved love and warmth and tenderness and protection and peace. And maybe that idea of the baby may awaken other questions in you that help you forgive this person. What happened to make this beautiful baby into the person who hurt me? What happened in that history, in that path? You don't have to know all the answers, but you know that babies are innocent and kind and beautiful. So without having all the details, you can understand that something happened in the story of this person that buried that innocent baby way inside, in a place that the person himself or herself has forgotten, but that you know is there. So when we think about Christmas, and we think about baby Jesus, and we think about Father Christmas visiting all those babies and children in the world, is that invitation to connect to our innocence that is being offered. That is the true gift of Christmas. And when you step in your innocence, the innocence of a child that finds awe in a little star, that seems to enjoy more boxes than actually gifts, you can see the world from a different perspective. You can see colors being brighter, and fairy lights become magical, and the world changes. So the tradition of Christmas give you a space in time that allows you to be that child again. And when you're that child again, remember we talk about hope? You're open to hope. Children, most children, know nothing but hope, because they're not quite sure what the future is going to bring to them. And depending on the circumstances, the idea of hope may change. Maybe for a child it's a new toy, for another child is more food. But there's the idea of hope. So this Christmas, connect to that child inside. And from that connection, drink hope, breathe hope, exhale hope, give hope all around. And if you need to forgive some people so you can be free, seek their own baby and forgive. You know how the Hindus have this beautiful word, namaste, or namaste, which means something like the divine in me acknowledges and salutes the divine in you. Well, in Christmas, you have the opportunity for the baby in you to acknowledge the baby in other people and honor them and salute them. Now, from this place of innocence and hope and joy, let's try to bring some inspiration into our life with a little visualization I have prepared for you today. Okay? So what I need you to do is to just sit up straight, as comfortable as you can. You want to shake your body a bit, shake your head, and let's breathe in deeply together. Just bring the air all the way down to your ribs and feel your stomach pop a little. And then when you exhale, press those abdominal muscles to let out all the air. Ready? Let's breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, please close your eyes. And right now, I just want to place your attention on your feet. Just think about your feet. Now think about your legs, your hips, your torso, your shoulder, your arms and hands, your neck, the back of your head, all the muscles around the eyes and the mouth. And one more time, breathe in and breathe out. And now comes the fun part. Using your imagination, I want you to see yourself in a beautiful forest. There's some fresh snow on the ground and on the trees and on the bushes. It's a clear, sparkling night. You can see the moon full, shining softly and almost with a milky glow. And the stars are twinkling, reflecting themselves on the fresh snow. You're nicely wrapped, and you feel cozy, and you start walking, and then you see this beautiful Christmas tree right there in the middle of the forest. You can even see some little forest animals scattering around. Some rabbits here, some deer there, a little robin flying by. Now this is a tall and wide tree, and it's all decorated. Just think of the most beautiful Christmas tree that you can, with different ornaments that come in diverse shapes, and fairy lights and bows. And you look at this Christmas tree and you feel like a child again. You feel the excitement and the awe and this fuzzy, warm feeling inside. Now I'm going to tell you a secret. This is a very special Christmas tree because it can grant inspiration. Inspiration for the new year. So one more time, I want you to breathe. And your own way and own words, ask the divine of your understanding for some inspiration about the scenes that it would be good for you to tackle next year. Maybe new projects, maybe a change of views and perspectives, maybe new adventures, new scenes to try. I'm going to be quiet for a minute or so you can have this divine connection with the God of your understanding. Very well. Now I want you to place your attention on the ornaments on the Christmas tree. You're going to look for 3 ornaments that somehow represent a message from the divine. Somehow are going to give you an idea of that which you're invited to explore in 2015. Don't worry about the rest of the ornaments. You can always come back to this forest for more inspiration as you need it throughout the year. Don't judge too much what you see, or start thinking of the reasons why this can happen or not, or how difficult it can be. Just see what ornaments called your attention, and give yourself a few seconds to try to decipher their meaning. It is alright if the meaning is not so clear right now. The important thing is to bring those ideas, those seeds of possibilities back with you, I'm sorry. Okay, now that you have your inspiration, take the ornaments literally off the trees, place them in your hands, and put them against your chest, over your heart. Think about the kind of year you want to have in 2015. What experiences would you like to experience? What would you like to achieve? What kind of person would you like to be? Remember, we're not talking about what you should do or who you should be. Forget about what society, community, family, or tradition dictates. Go into your heart and see what is there that is true for you. And when you're ready, say a few words of gratitude to the divine for this inspiration that has been granted to you like beautiful Christmas presents. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart will be enough. Look at the Christmas tree one more time, and now walk away from it. start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Breathe in deep into your tongues. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. I hope you had very good inspiration. Now, don't worry if maybe you weren't able to see anything in particular. Just try and repeat this visualization or something similar until you find these ideas cooking. And be very mindful in the next few days. See if you see any patterns that may clarify a bit more the meaning of the seed of inspiration that you receive. Once we're finished here, you can write them down just so you don't forget. And in a few days, go back and again see, what does this mean? How can I apply it to my life? How will it enrich my life? How it serve others? How does it complement my other plans? And how does it allow me to express the true self that I am, the true person that I am, away from the mask of society and convenience? Good? Okay, still have time. I'm being a bit faster than expected. So the other invitation I want to do before we go, since I will see you into 2015, is to be very gentle with yourself this Christmas. Remember, you don't have to do anything. If some people have certain expectations, or maybe you have imposed expectations upon yourself, really look at them and decide if you want to do it. You don't have to cook a turkey if you don't want to do it. But if you're going to do it, get into the spirit. Enjoy that cooking. Dance with the turkey. Have people help you or not. But don't see it as a rush or a duty that you have to do. Find the joy in whatever you have accepted or decided to do. If you don't have money for expensive presents, then try to do cricket presents. Presents that have meaning. A simple idea such as getting a bottle and just writing loving messages for each month of 2015 is something that many people would appreciate. And if they don't appreciate it, it's more their problem than yours. If you don't have to jump into the high street and battle the crowds for whatever reason. But if you choose to do it, go with the flow. Be gentle. Remember, the baby inside needs to be taken care of. Buy yourself a beautiful present. Just because it's beautiful and you like it and you love it and you feel guilty about it. Give yourself the gift of time. And say, well, I need an hour on this day or whatever. Just sit down and watch the Christmas tree and the fairy lights, or have a long bath, or whatever you want to do. Again, you could also give the gift of time to other people. So instead of buying a plastic something for your sister, offer to babysit for an hour so she and her husband can have a time for themselves. Just think of gentility, of softness, and joy, and merriment, but don't force yourself to do things that you don't want to do just because you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do anything. You do things that are born out of your heart. That is the true meaning of Christmas. Opening up your heart to accept and to give. I'm going to finish with a little story that is very, very famous in my country, but I don't think it's originated from there. It's called The Little Angel. There was a little angel in heaven, and he was a bit of a naughty angel, as angels go, and seemed to getting himself in trouble all the time. And then one day he heard that there was a big celebration down on earth because baby Jesus had been born. And he saw all the angels going here and there, trying to find beautiful, exciting, magical gifts for this new baby that would bring so much to the world. And of course, the little angel wanted to do the same. But he was a rather new angel and he didn't have that many powers and really didn't know that much how things were handled in heaven. He was scratching his head. Can I give the baby Jesus? And then he said, ah! And he went down to earth, to where he used to live, in a very, very humble house, in a very, very poor part of town. He got some things, and then he went back to heaven. So it was a special night when all the angels were going to come down to see baby Jesus and offer the presents. Now this was where everybody was sleeping, even Joseph and Mary. And all the angels came and saw the beautiful baby, so bright, so peaceful, and they gave him the most exquisite presents. Some gave him ornaments that looked like stars. Some gave them these beautiful plants and flowers with the loveliest of aromas. Some gave them presents of gold and silver and diamonds. Some gave the baby animals that were almost created for it. And then as each angel gave a present, they sort of surrounded the baby. And then the little angel came and handed the baby a box, a shoebox, and then opened it. And inside the shoebox was a ball, a football, or something like a football, and some old shoes, and something like a rag doll. And everything was very beaten and almost broken and dirty. And some of the angels saw this and they were like, oh my God, the shame. How can he give that to this child, the Son of God? And the little angel heard that and he started feeling ashamed of what he had done. And started like taking away his present and walking away. And then there was this voice full of love and tenderness, the voice of God. And he said, don't go away, little angel. In my opinion, yours are the best presents ever. Because my child will be a child like you were when you were alive. And before his vision comes and he has to do what he has to do, he will play with a ball like this. And he will have these beaten down shoes, just like yours. And when he is a toddler, he will have something like the doll to comfort him when he doesn't feel that happy. Because my son was born to be a child, just like you were. And the fact that you remember who you were and decided to share that with my child make this the most wonderful present for the Son of God. I always love this story. But it's time for me to start saying goodbye. So first of all, let me wish you a very happy Christmas, a very happy June, a very happy winter solstice. I'm not sure what else may be celebrated in other spiritualities, or just a wonderful winter festivity. Enjoy it as much as you can. And I really hope that 2015 will be a year that will bring many, many presents to all of us. The presence of love, of harmony, of sharing, of justice, of equality, of joy and merriment and creativity, of prosperity, the present of opportunity. So we have the opportunity to express who we really are and be angels unto others and ourselves. The presence of having the time and the awareness to see the beauty of the world, to really, really see it and connect it to it. And as we do it, connect ourselves to the infinite source of love that sustains us for now and ever. And I'm going to finish with a little prayer, a prayer of this that I can't find out. Ah, here it is. I can be organized sometimes. It is a prayer of hope more than peace, because hope has been the theme tonight, hasn't it? May hope wrap us tonight. May it grow and extend all throughout the world, bringing joy and fortitude to all. May 2015 be a year of justice and love. May it bring beauty and harmony, and may it be rich in opportunities that allow ourselves to let our loving and beautiful souls soar and live with purpose and joy and peace. So this is my prayer tonight, and I see that I still have time. So I'm going to sing you a little song in Spanish, because I really don't know that many Christmas songs in English. But you know this song. You just not haven't heard it in Spanish. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Here it goes. Era Rodolfo un reno que tenía la nariz roja como la grana y un brillo sin igual. Todos sus compañeros se reían sin parar, hasta que el pobre Rodolfo se sintió muy mal. Pero Navidad llegó y Santa Claus llamó. Rodolfo, con tu nariz, vete a mi trineo irás. Todos los compañeros se dejaron de reír, y desde ese momento Rodolfo fue un héroe para mí. Okay, amigos. Oh, I switched to Spanish, sorry. So, my dear friends, I wish you a Merry Christmas, lots of peace, love of joy, have nice meals, a lot of family time and time with friends, and see you in 2015. Bye.